Welcome to Kansas Ag Report with your host, Brian Hallman.
Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Brian Hallman, and here's our lineup for today's show. In Ag News, we'll take a look at local and national headlines affecting Kansas farmers. In our Ag Feature, we talk with Justin Gilpin from Kansas Wheat, and we'll get an update on this year's winter wheat crop. And inside Kansas Ag, Kansas Wheat talks about Taiwanese delegation visit to Kansas. Then KDA talks about the Land of Kansas Marketplace. And in news you need to know, we get our weekly update from the Kansas Livestock Association, look back at last week's market activity with the guys from Paragon, and we'll let you know about important events coming up around the state of Kansas. Glad you could join us.
Closed captioning brought to you by Dick Edwards in Manhattan, selling America's #1 truck, the Ford F-150, for over 30 years. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. kansassoybeans.org.
Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution, Ag Risk Solutions. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza in Junction City, home of this year's Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram Truck. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Here's our national headlines for this week in Ag News. U.S. Court has issued an order temporarily blocking the implementation of a federal water rule across the country. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit granted a nationwide stay against the Waters of the U.S. rule, which is intended to clarify which bodies of water are covered by the Clean Water Act. The rule was finalized by the EPA and the Corps of Engineers in May, but still faces political and legal opposition. A bill has been introduced in Congress to lift barriers that are getting in the way of U.S. ag exports to Cuba. Congressman Rick Crawford of Arkansas is a sponsor of the Cuba Agricultural Export Act that would repeal restrictions on export financing. Currently, there is a cash-only option available for Cuba to buy U.S. commodities, and reports say that Cuba isn't able to do so because of its cash flow problems. The cash-only option, part of the U.S. law passed 15 years ago, is becoming quite a hindrance for the U.S. to now export to Cuba since other countries are willing to extend Cuba the credit it needs. At a House Agricultural Committee hearing about dietary guidelines, Ag Secretary Tom Vilsack said that farm programs may be receiving cuts. Minnesota Congressman Tim Waltz asked Vilsack if there would be question on agricultural risk coverage and price loss coverage, and Vilsack responded, yes, unless something happens with sequester. In addition to cuts in ARC and PLC programs, cuts may also apply to some USDA loan programs, including marketing loans. Congress passed federal budget sequestration rules or automatic cuts back in 2011. And in local news, Kansas farmland values that look to have leveled off in 2014 appear to have dipped even more this year, likely pulled down by lower grain prices. The value of cropland in Kansas as of August 15th slipped to an average of $2,200 per acre, which is down 2% from last year, according to USDA data. Irrigated land was valued last year at $5,100 and is now down to $3,200 per acre. However, according to sales data, the average value of pasture land is now $1,800 an acre, above the $1,300 average reflected on previous surveys. Based on October 1st conditions, Kansas 2015 corn crop is forecasted at 566 million bushels, down just slightly from last year's production, according to USDA's National Agricultural Statistics Service. Area to be harvested for grain at 3.85 million acres is up 1% from a year ago. Sorghum for grain is forecasted at 258 million bushels, up 29% from last year. Area for harvest at 3.15 million acres is up 17% from 2014. Soybean production is forecasted at 144 million bushels, up 3% from last year. Area for harvest at 3.9 million acres is 2% above 2014 numbers. Last week, Dairy Farmers of America officially announced plans to build a dairy ingredient plant in Garden City, Kansas. Governor Brownback and other state officials were on hand for a ceremonial groundbreaking at the 156-acre site. The 214,000 square foot operation is a partnership between DFA and 12 of its member farms in southwest Kansas and will produce whole, skim, and non-fat dairy milk powder as well as cream. The plant is scheduled to be in operation by the end of 2017. Up next in our Ag Feature, we talk with Justin Gilpin from Kansas Wheat, and we'll get an update on this year's winter wheat crop. You're watching Kansas Ag Report. Please stay tuned.
This segment brought to you by Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. GrassandGrain.com. A.B. Flint Motor Company, selling quality used cars and trucks in southeast Topeka at 32nd and South Kansas Avenue. Integrity Gun and Pawn, 2 Topeka locations specializing in firearms and training. igpawn.com to learn more. Kansas Wheat Commission, leaders in the adoption of profitable innovations for wheat. Online at kswheat.com.
Dick Edwards, 2 miles east of the town center mall on Highway 24.
I'm Dr. Frank Lyons, a physician here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. As one of the only standalone stem cell centers in the U.S., we use your stem cells as therapy for arthritis and some autoimmune diseases.
I'm Dr. Andrew Pope, here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Utilizing the latest technology under strict protocols, we're able to harvest your stem cells from your own fat to treat a variety of medical conditions. The best part about it is, it's a same-day surgical procedure and requires no general anesthesia.
You need a partner that you can count on to be there for your business. Providing a depth of understanding to risk management issues so you don't have to. A knowledgeable support team located in your area, delivering products and services to make you more successful.
Here at Blue River Traders, we have the greatest selection of rustic and western furniture in Kansas.
At Blue River Traders, you can select from an inventory of rustic lodge or western furnishings. With a designer on hand, Blue River Traders will help create the look you desire.
Biodiesel made from sustainable resources is diversifying our fuel supply. This year, biodiesel will displace over 1 billion gallons of fossil fuel nationwide. It's making our economy stronger and our communities healthier. It's working here and across America. Get biodiesel going in your community. Visit americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
Dick Edwards, 2 miles east of the town center mall on Highway 24.
Thanks for staying with us this morning. We're in Manhattan, Kansas. We're at the Kansas Wheat Innovation Center. We're joined by Justin. Justin, thanks for joining us this morning.
Brian, it's good to be with you.
Fall harvest coming out of harvest right now. Corn and beans coming out of the fields, which means we've got wheat getting ready to go in.
Right, so it's that time of year where all farmers and markets are watching the weather. Right now we've had some pretty good harvest weather as beans and corn are coming off, and looks like a pretty good sorghum crop for the state of Kansas. When you think about Kansas farmers, we're some of the most diversified farmers in the U.S. Planting a variety of crops, both fall and winter wheat crops. And so from a winter wheat perspective, how fall harvest affects us is one, the number of bushels being harvested, storage space available, both commercially and on-farm. But then what kind of moisture is available about wheat that's going to go in behind beans and corn, and definitely farmers right now are making those kind of decisions. We've had a little bit of moisture, but certainly not enough moisture that we would like to see for the wheat harvest to get started. But with beans coming off right now, we are seeing through the central part of the state and the eastern part of the state a good number of acres of wheat going in behind soybeans and corn, and anticipate to see that continue.
Well, we certainly had the opportunity last year to plant into some really good moisture and saw some good yields. Didn't turn out kind of the way we wanted it to, but hopefully this year will be a little bit different.
Right now there's, especially out west, probably some of the conditions have been as dry as they've been in the last several years, and so there's some anticipation. You plant in the dust, maybe your bins will bust, is an old saying, and so I think some guys are going to be hoping for that. But there are some areas where we just got some through kind of like Russell County on out west along I-70 there, where we just got some wheat. A lot of guys just finished up wheat planting, and we caught about a half-inch rain about a week ago, which is ideal. There still needs to be a little bit more moisture to come along to keep that crop going, but if we could get about a half-inch a week as we get into dormancy, that would really help this crop get off to a good start.
Change direction real quick. Taiwanese delegation here 3 weeks ago. Really important to Kansas wheat farmers.
Well, when you talk about wheat and exports, it's extremely important. Half the wheat that's grown in the state of Kansas and the U.S. depends on exports. It depends on having those relationships with good export customers that are going to come back every year to be buying our bushels, and in good years when prices are good, prices are bad, and right now, prices have been a little bit depressed, and so we've got a big fall harvest coming. Exports have been a little slow, so having to work for those export markets, have those export customers and those relationships is extremely important.
Not only that, but Cuba's going to be extremely important to us coming forward.
Well, we certainly hope so, but that's certainly a priority from the Kansas Wheat Commission, is working on trade with Cuba. There's a lot of things that have to happen with policy, but certainly some steps in the right direction are being made. When we have trade with Cuba, it's going to be a natural fit for Kansas wheat farmers and other Kansas ag commodities, and we're certainly excited and pushing hard for that direction.
Perfect. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, talk about markets, basis, and some other opportunities for Kansas wheat farmers. Watching Kansas Ag Report. See you in just a minute.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life. Farmers Insurance, your best protection against the unexpected. Call Agent Dan Key at 785-408-5459. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. GrassandGrain.com. Blue River Traders, the finest selection of Western-style furniture for your home. BlueRiverTraders.com.
Thanks for staying with us. We're at the Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan. We're joined by Justin. Justin, again, thanks for staying with us. Before we went to the break, we were kind of talking about markets, Cuba being one of those markets. Again, we're going to change direction a little bit. We could be coming off a record corn crop here in the state of Kansas. We're going to be up about 2%, I think is the latest numbers. Soybeans the same way. Sorghum, we're going to be up about 70%. Storage is going to be a major issue coming into harvest next spring.
Well, certainly when you start having, and when you talk about markets, you start to see the impact of large harvests coming onto the market when you start to see impacting on basis. And so that's why you're starting to see some of the basis levels starting to widen like they are. Storage is becoming a premium. We've had a pretty decent, an average, above average wheat crop. Not quite the crop that we thought we could have had, but or we're hoping to have. But when you have already storage that kind of maybe somewhat at a premium for space, and then you start having a bean and corn crop, and then especially with the sorghum crop, that's going to be a pretty big crop for the state of Kansas coming off. Our commercial facilities are thinking about where they're going to put all that, and that does kind of tax the system a little bit. Exports are extremely important. We talked about that for wheat, and it's going to be important for sorghum too. Last year we were really fortunate to have a lot of our sorghum that was moving out off to China. Whether or not China comes back in the market to help move some of those sorghum bushels, it'll be could be very interesting this year. But at the end of the day, bushels makes everybody's life a little bit easier. So even though you're getting that widened basis, it's good to see a good fall harvest coming off. Hopefully with a little bit of moisture that's still around from helping out those fall harvests is going to help us out with wheat plantings. And always important that we're working with our grain handling system in the state of Kansas and knowing where your markets are for each of the producers, and knowing what your options are as far as basis and pricing opportunities. And encourage everybody to work with their local merchandisers to make their selling decisions.
We want to remind you to use certified seed here in the state of Kansas. Watch the Kansas Ag Report. We'll be back in just a minute.
A handshake and a promise still count as good business for wheat farmers, especially when a top customer pledges to purchase a crop not yet planted. Taiwan flour millers did just that on September 18th in Topeka when they signed a letter of intent to purchase 62.5 million bushels of U.S. wheat, including hard red winter wheat, in the next 2 marketing years. The joint communique is worth $544 million. The biennial agricultural trade goodwill mission to the United States is a larger effort to commit to purchasing grains and other agricultural products for the people of Taiwan. This year's team included representatives from the Taiwan Flour Millers Association, which imports wheat on behalf of all 20 Taiwanese flour mills. The first Taiwan Agricultural Trade Goodwill Mission traveled to the United States in 1998. Kansas Wheat Commission Chairman Jay Armstrong said, "Since these goodwill missions have been going on, we have sold to Taiwan the equivalent of 24,371,640,000 loaves of bread. That goes a long way toward giving us this day our daily bread." While in Kansas, the Taiwan Agricultural Trade Goodwill Mission toured the Kansas Wheat Innovation Center, IGP Institute, Hal Ross Flour Mill, and Radina's Bakehouse. Taiwan is the 6th largest market for U.S. wheat on average, importing nearly 37 million bushels each of the last 2 marketing years.
We are excited to share with you that the From the Land of Kansas Marketplace is now hosting 23 different Kansas companies all on one site. The Marketplace is a great one-stop shop for all your Kansas gifts and ingredients. You can find all their stores at shop.fromthelandofkansas.com. With the holidays around the corner, it's never too early to start thinking about gifts for friends and loved ones. Not sure what to give your hard-to-shop-for sister? What about a From the Land of Kansas mug? Does your son or daughter live out of state and miss the taste of Kansas City barbecue? You can send them a Kansas Barbecue Care Package from Jack's Tech Barbecue or Original Wands, both from the Kansas City metro area. We're also excited to have a variety of hard-to-find ingredients on the Marketplace. You can now get Elsie Grace's no-roll pie crust mix that makes homemade pies a breeze. Then top it off with Grandma Horner's pecan pie filling or maybe their caramel maple pumpkin pie filling. Your friends and family are sure to remember these pies for holidays to come. If you want to be a chef but don't know where to start or how to include Kansas ingredients in your dishes, let us help. We have more than 75 recipes available on the website at fromthelandofkansas.com. All the recipes feature Kansas grown or raised ingredients or Kansas manufactured products. You can also find our recipes on Pinterest. We are proud to work with more than 300 great Kansas agricultural companies. If you know of a company we should work with, please have them check out our website at fromthelandofkansas.com.
This segment brought to you by Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. A.B. Flint Motor Company, selling quality used cars and trucks in Southeast Topeka at 32nd and South Kansas Avenue. Integrity Gun and Pawn, 2 Topeka locations specializing in firearms and training. igpawn.com to learn more. Impact Satellite, your local authorized DirecTV dealer. Impact Satellite at 785-554-5974.
All the time. Monthly payments of $289, $189, or even $89. How is this done, you ask? Well, with large down payments, low mileage leases, and you must qualify for all rebates offered. Can we do this? Yes, we can. But we'd prefer to give you the straight talk, where we tell you all the information up front, and you make the decision on what vehicle and payment you want. You won't need bifocals to read the fine print here. Dick Edwards, serving the Manhattan, Fort Riley, and Junction City areas for over 30 years.
Imagine having someone help you pick the best corn hybrids for every field on your farm. Your Oldie representative can combine your data with his data to offer a field-by-field prescription. Contact Oldie Seed today at 877-692-4555.
Tammy the Pro Home Plus is all about providing warmth and kindness to aging individuals who find it difficult to live on their own. Tammy's team is made up of experienced caregivers and nurses committed to the highest level of individualized care, focusing on health and well-being, and assisting with nutrition, grooming, medications, therapies, and daily living needs, all in a warm, caring environment. Call Tammy the Pro Home Plus today at 785-383-7094 to learn how we can help.
The producer-funded Kansas Wheat Innovation Center was built to get improved varieties into the hands of farmers faster. Kansas Wheat, farmers advancing their future through wheat genetics research.
I will take action against herbicide-resistant weeds. I will know my weeds, and I will stop them before they go to seed. I will do whatever it takes to give my crops the upper hand, and I will use multiple herbicide sites of action because every action counts. I will take action, this time for all time.
You hear it all the time. Monthly payments of $289, $189, or even $89. How is this done, you ask? Well, with large down payments, low mileage leases, and you must qualify for all rebates offered. Can we do this? Yes, we can. But we'd prefer to give you the straight talk, where we tell you all the information up front, and you make the decision on what vehicle and payment you want. You won't need bifocals to read the fine print here. Dick Edwards, serving the Manhattan, Fort Riley, and Junction City areas for over 30 years.
You need a partner that you can count on to be there for your business. Providing a depth of understanding to risk management issues so you don't have to. A knowledgeable support team located in your area, delivering products and services to make you more successful.
A 1,334-pound crossbred shown by Macy Ratliff from Westphalia earned Grand Champion steer at the 83rd Kansas Junior Livestock Show. Predetermined cash premiums were awarded this year to the top 5 animals in both market and breeding shows for all 4 species. This replaced the premium auction held in years past. Ratliff received a $4,000 premium for her steer. The reserve Grand Champion steer shown by Riley Worth of Ellis was a 1,334-pound maintainer that earned a $2,000 premium. Blake Holmes from Lebo guided his 276-pound light crossbred to the Grand Champion Market hog title, which earned him $2,000. A 268-pound dark crossbred owned by Elizabeth Hodges from Lebo was reserve Grand Champion hog. Hodges' hog was worth $1,500. Casey Fouracre of Burton exhibited the Grand Champion Market Lamb, a 147-pound entry from the Blackface division that earned a $2,000 premium. The reserve Grand Champion Market Lamb, a 141-pound Blackface that received $1,000, was shown by Shiloh Shockey from Westmoreland. Fouracre also received Grand Champion honors and a $2,000 premium for her 88-pound entry in the Meat Goat Show. Juliana Sprague of Kincaid showed the reserve Grand Champion Meat Goat, which weighed 102 pounds and earned $1,000. A total of 687 Kansas youth from 86 counties exhibited 1,441 head of livestock at the show, which was held October 2nd through the 4th in Hutchinson.
Good morning. I'm Cody Wintersheet with Paragon Ag. Well, September came and went in what seemed like a blink of an eye. The highly anticipated Fed decision on interest rates brought really nothing to the table currently as far as changes. It also seems, at least momentarily, that the proverbial waters out of China have calmed. So most of the attention is now squarely on the advancing Midwest harvest and of course the USDA's reports. It seems that the supply side of the equation certainly garners the most attention, especially at this point in the year. However, some things to definitely take note of are, what are our ending stocks numbers reflecting, along with our weekly export sales here moving forward. Another key point to monitor that can be a bit of a tell is what the carry in the market is doing. Currently, the carry has been softening in the corn market as of late, which is typically a positive sign, which in other words means we want the grain now, not later, and we're willing to pay for it. All this being said, we do likely still need to see some revisions back lower to some degree on the production side, specifically in the soybeans to start start to add some more fuel to the fire. On a different note, for those of you in the cattle business, to say the last couple of months have been rough is certainly an understatement. Remember, markets are cyclical and things do change, but with this environment and the dollars at stake, it is no time to hope for a miracle. Crunch the numbers hard and take advantage of any decent opportunity you can get and live to fight another day. If you have any questions on the markets, give us a call at 888-452-8751. Have a great week.
Closed captioning brought to you by Dick Edwards in Manhattan, selling America's #1 truck, the Ford F-150, for over 30 years. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. kansassoybeans.org.
Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution, Ag Risk Solutions. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza in Junction City, home of this year's Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram Truck. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Well, that's our show for today. I hope you'll join us each week for more news and information about agriculture in the state of Kansas. I'm Brian Holman, and thanks for watching.
Here at Blue River Traders, we have the greatest selection of rustic and western furniture in Kansas.
At Blue River Traders, you can select from an inventory of rustic lodge or western furnishings. With a designer on hand, Blue River Traders will help create the look you desire.
Imagine having someone help you pick the best corn hybrids for every field on your farm. Your Oldie representative can combine your data with his data to offer a field-by-field prescription. Contact Oldie Seed today at 877-692-4555.
Tammy the Pro Home Plus is all about providing warmth and kindness to aging individuals who find it difficult to live on their own. Tammy's team is made up of experienced caregivers and nurses committed to the highest level of individualized care, focusing on health and well-being, and assisting with nutrition, grooming, medications, therapies, and daily living needs, all in a warm, caring environment. Call Tammy the Pro Home Plus today at 785-383-7094 to learn how we can help.